time now for episode 37 of this game, is this? Yeah, I think it's 37. Anyway, I've already decided on which car it is I'm going to use for this, and that's going to be this, the tuned Mazda RX-7. A car which I decided I would use before, but ultimately, well, my previous attempt at recording, it was very poorly executed. So that's why I'm keen to try this again, and why I am keen to make sure this time I put together something that will actually work. And I don't think there's any way for me to reduce power here, so I think we should be okay. I think the only bit of tuning... Oh, okay, we already have the semi-racing kit. Actually, on second thoughts, I don't think we need any tuning on this thing. This thing is already tuned as it is, so I think we should be okay. As we are now using this thing in the George V Rally. And as I have also established with rear-wheel drive tuning cars, traction control is absolutely unequivocally needed if we are going to win. Oh yeah, I should also mention that I did reset the game as well before going into this because, well, previously the attempt I put up prior to this one being recorded, it was getting pretty toxic, and in all honesty, I really wasn't happy with the way it was executed. So let's try this again, and make sure that this time we do put together an effort that does manage to at least show that we can put this together cordially. I'm also going to put some ballast in the car because, well, if I don't, then, well, I'll make this look piss easy. I want to at least invoke some sort of challenge with this. And technically speaking, we are up against the car we were against before, which, by the way, is the Evo 8 GSR. So, I think we should have an element of challenge here. But as ever, I am hoping that this time around at least I can manage to at least put together something that will not result in me being on the shit end of the stick, as I was before. Especially since I did get 1 or 2 penalties after I was basically hit from the outside by the Evo 8 before. However, I decided, because my previous attempt was just a mess, I decided to reset the game. I didn't lose any progress because, well, obviously the autosave mechanism is on, as you might have guessed. And of course, well, it was just a lot easier for me to simply just accept that my previous attempts didn't work. That was why I reset the game and decided it was just a lot easier for me to pretend whatever happened previously did not happen. And it is fair to say that because I am not crashing as much as I was before, that's the main reason why this attempt, as you might have guessed, is going a lot better than my previous attempt. Even though I'm pretty sure this would have been an easy win either way. I just figured I'd use the tuned... I just figured I'd choose the tuned Mazda RX-7 for this because, well, I figured it would make things easier for me. Because I want to make sure that I am including parity. Also because I have a feeling the reverse race will probably be harder than this. But either way, at least I am trying. Even though I will admit my previous episode in the reverse race at Chamonix, something which I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't really give a shit about, but I do admit to cheating in terms of me actually winning that race. And I do make sure not to do it very often, but sometimes if you have to come back from a penalty and you have to basically go about as ballsy as you can possibly go in certain races, there are just certain loopholes that from time to time you do have to expose. And it is fair to say that at least with the snow course events, if you're able to, you know, drag the walls at certain angles, then you can actually get away with it. Not exactly the best way to do business, I'll admit, and I prefer not to do it most of the time for obvious reasons, because it accounts for cheating, but sometimes if you have no choice and you have to simply do what you have to do in order to pull it off, every once in a blue moon, sometimes you might see me blatantly cheating, but only every once in a blue moon. Not any more than that. And if you think I am just an asshole who does not give a shit about winning fair and square, and I'm pretty sure most of you know I am not that sort of asshole, but if you do think I am that sort of asshole, then the only word I can really give to you is, or advice I should say is, go fuck yourself. Anyways, I win. And also a lucky 7 points as well, as I would have guessed. Pretty easy win altogether, but I don't think the reverse course is going to be quite as easy as this one was, because, well, I put together a much cleaner run compared to my first run. And the only reason I'm really using the tuned RX-7 for this as well, because, well, I basically just need the money. So, yeah. That's the only reason why I'm using this thing, because, well, I'm short on money, and also because, well, I'm short on money, and also because, well, it's a tarmac event, so technically I'm not really doing too many things wrong by using a tuned car for this. Even then, of course, if the car itself is OP compared to the Evo 8. Anyway, race 1 is done. Now we move on to race 2. And what do you know, we're up against the Evo 4 again. Oh well, it'll be an easy win, so I'm convinced in saying this'll more or less go the same way the previous one went. I wouldn't be using this car right now if I wasn't needing more money to get through the remaining events, but either way, sometimes there are just certain risks you have to take when it does come to using overpowered cars, and certain risks you don't have to take when it comes to using overpowered cars. And in my case at least, an overpowered car is necessary because we are technically on the streets of Paris, which typically tend to be narrow streets anyway, so I think it's fair to say that should be a good enough reason for me picking this thing, even though it's not exactly the choice I would normally use if I had more money. Because there would have been other choices I would have chosen from, but nonetheless, I chose this thing, and typically I tend to be a man of my word, as I do my best to stick with the things I choose. Even then, of course, if that means my car is straight up overpowered, but either way, it is a tarmac event, so... Oh, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Well, at least I can say I was far enough ahead. And I get a bump from behind, understandably. I had a feeling I was going to overshoot at least one of the corners in terms of my confidence because, well, I have not been able to drive George V Paris as regularly as other courses I have driven. Plus the other thing about this course is it's very much a night course. So there are definitely more areas where, for want of a better phrase, this can go wrong. But either way, I'm 2.3 seconds up on the Evo 8. And it looks like from here, this is going to be what ultimately gives me that all-important event sweep again. Plus, as I would have expected, with there also being penalties involved, of course, the reverse race is closer than the forward race. And on the brakes much earlier this time. I have got to say, the start-finish line is pretty deep down on that front straightaway, but this time, at least, we seem to be doing pretty well. And I almost overshoot on the curb there. But either way, we are still fighting on, because that is what we do. I honestly could have used one of my other road cars if I really wanted to, but well, I chose this one because I figured I wasn't wanting to have too many issues in terms of being able to pull off the dub. That's mainly what I was here to do. And so, there we go. Easy win in George V Rally on my second attempt of recording. Another clean sweep. This time winning by 6.6 seconds. So pretty easy altogether. As I'm now up to 150 grand, which means I should have enough to get on with tuning for my next few events. That actually went by pretty quickly. And this time we get the Renault 5 Maxi Turbo rally car from 1985. I'm honestly not too surprised to say that is the car we win. But anyway, there we go. So that's now 6 normal rally events cleared, and our next one will be the Swiss Alps Rally. And then we have the other ones. Anyway, there we go. George V Rally is now cleared, and as a result, I think we've gained another 0.3% of progress. Oh yeah, I called that one. Anyway, let's now find our Renault that we won. Here it is. The Renault 5 Maxi Turbo Rally Car. And we can sell this thing for 265,000. Well, considering this is a Group B car, I'm honestly not too surprised, to be quite honest. But yeah, I think I might use this thing at some point, if I'm really that inclined to use it. I might consider it. But anyway, there we go. That's our prize for winning the George V Rally. And now for our next event, I'm going to move on to another one of the SUVs. And I think this time I'm going to select... Yeah, let's select the Infinity for our next one, because why not? I do want to at least get some usage out of the SUVs. So, that's the car we're using next. So, 5 normal rally events to go. As next up, we have the normal Swiss Alps Rally.